Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired a series of meetings of various cabinet committees today vis-a-vis India's military response to the Pahalgam attack. The stated focus of these meetings was assessing the security situation and formulating India's strategic response to the April 22nd Pahalgam attack. The Cabinet Committee on Security met for the second time after the Pahalgam attack. This panel, comprising the Prime Minister, Defence Minister, Home Minister, Finance Minister, External Affairs Minister, has a central role in deciding the way forward on India's response. The first meeting on April 23rd had laid down a series of punitive measures against Pakistan on the diplomatic level or front. The meeting comes notably a day after Prime Minister Modi granted the Indian Armed Forces complete operational freedom to respond to the attack. The Prime Minister also chaired a meeting of the Union Cabinet, the first since the Pahalgam attack. At a cabinet briefing after the meetings, this is an excerpt of what Information and Broadcasting Minister Ashwini Vaishnaw had to say regarding India's response to the attack.
We welcome the affirmative steps that the government has taken with regard to highway connectivity and for farmers' welfare. But the million-dollar question is national security. I'm sorry, we can't.
Not in the cabinet briefing.
Prime Minister Modi also chaired a meeting of the Cabinet Committee on Political Affairs, or the CCPA, also called the Super Cabinet. Significantly, the last time the CCPA met was after the 2019 terror attack in Pulwama. The Prime Minister also chaired the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs to evaluate the economic implications of the escalating tensions. Let's now talk to our Assistant Editor for Foreign Affairs, Sidhan Sibol, who's now joining us live on the broadcast from New Delhi. Sidhan Sibol, maybe you can give us more details about this Cabinet meeting.
Well, Eric, it was a day full of back-to-back meetings. The day started with the Cabinet Committee on Security, then, of course, the Cabinet Committee on Political Affairs, followed by the Cabinet Committee on Economic Affairs, the full Cabinet meeting, and then, of course, the big presser, where, of course, there was no mention on security, but the announcement on caste census, which is now dominating the big headlines here in India. But essentially, we know that there remains a big worry over the issue of cross-border terrorism from Pakistan. India, of course, has taken a slew of diplomatic measures last week. In fact, today is the day when all Pakistani nationals, except the nationals who are given exception, are expected to cross into Pakistan. This is the day of a deadline, and we know that there have been visuals coming from Atari Wagah border as to how the Pakistani nationals from India and the Indian nationals from Pakistan are crossing over into each other's respective territory. Now, we know that the diplomats have also crossed into each other's country. We know that India had announced cutting down of the high commissions and declaring the military diplomats as persona non grata. And we also know that the Pakistani military diplomats, the Army, the Air Force and the Navy defense attaché have left India now. So this is a post that has been annulled. So these are the key outcomes, I would say, that sums up the day in terms of what transpired today. Today, in fact, is a day that comes just a day after a week since the terror attack that happened in Pahalgam, and that rattled not only the region and India, but of course the world as well. We have seen international support coming for India. Next month, May month could be important, not only in terms of diplomatic sphere, but if India plans to take any military action. But so far there is no buzz, any comment coming from India over any kind of action which is anticipated. One thing that is expected to happen is that the Pakistani side is going to brief the media in next 1 hour, and that is something that will be closely watched in the region. We know that there has been a lot of saber rattling coming from Pakistan, including a press statement coming at around 2 a.m. in the morning earlier today, when the Pakistani information minister claimed that India plans to launch a military action in next 24 to 36 hours.
All right, that is our Assistant Editor for Foreign Affairs, Sidhan Sibol. Sidhan, thank you.